visiting a state government building and setting up a phone call for the president. One would expect a chief of staff to the president of the United States to do those sorts of things. ABC News reports that Trump is also expected to move the case to federal court. We're back with Greg, Harry, Frank, and Claire. So, Harry Litman, I'm not a lawyer, but even I know that is ludicrous. I mean, to say because he was chief of staff, he had to help Trump plan his coup, because that's what Trump, his boss, wanted to do, is asinine. Will it work?
Maybe, believe it or not. So it depends very much on characterization. Look, it won't work. It shouldn't work for Trump, who is going to do this. And we've had different holdings from different courts saying, the stuff you're doing doesn't even reach the outer perimeter, which is the test of your acts under color of office. But look what Meadows is doing in there. Do you characterize them in the same way as Trump? As, you know, basically doing a plot to steal the election, or he's the chief of staff? Do you characterize them as following the orders of the president? The argument for him is A, different, and B, I think stronger than it is for Trump. And this could go, well, there are not other really federal officials. He's the really most important defendant who could raise this here. He's a very interesting figure in this indictment generally. On the one hand, he shows up in Jack Smith's indictment, so you thought Terwilliger, who's an excellent lawyer, former deputy attorney general, had kind of, done a great deal with him, but it couldn't be because he's now subject to criminal indictment in Georgia. He is the man of mystery. But as to his motion for removal, it's less, I would say, asinine, less loser out of the box than for Trump himself. The question is, how do you characterize the acts he's doing? Is he acting as chief of staff to a madman? But is that what you do when you're a chief of staff to a madman?
I mean, let me just press you on this, Harry Litman. I mean, if Mark Milley was asked to carry out an illegal order and he did it, would he say, I was just following orders? I mean, I think isn't there a common sense breaking point when the president is asking you to do something illegal? I mean, Rudy Giuliani thought seizing voting machines was illegal. If one of those official acts was drafting an executive order to seize voting machines, do you just cover under the boss told me to do it? I've worked in the White House. I've never heard that before.
I agree, but again, follow what Meadows is doing specifically. He's playing all sides. He's taking phone calls, etc. Again, it's going to matter how you characterize his conduct. Yes, he can't be following illegal orders and still say I'm acting under color of my office. But, if the president is setting up phone calls, look at the way Terwilliger is trying to frame it. I'm not saying that it's a dead bang winner, but I'm trying to underscore the distinction between Meadows here, who's at least, more doing what a chief of staff does, than Trump, who's obviously out of the outer perimeter of how presidents act. So it's going to come down to how you characterize. I agree. There are things that are far afield that, come on, Meadows, you are just doing, you're basically holding up a bank. But other acts he can point to where he's acting as a chief of staff. It's less of an easy case for him than it is for Trump.